All right, so Aaron Ritter, Limitless Outdoors with the A3G Initiative 2023. We are here at the Ocean Pines Fire Department in Berlin, Maryland with our recipient for this year, Chris Norton. We have such an incredible package for this year. It's quite a bit larger than last year, but that's what we want to do. We want to make it better every year because we try to live our lives better every single year. So for this year, Elite came on board with the bow, and for this program would not be where it is for a lot of our big supporters and our small supporters as well. And I'm not going to run through everybody in this video. I'll hit some of the larger supporters, but we have had so much support this year for 2023. It has been very humbling. Elite for the bow, and Elite gave an open gift certificate to Chris, and he chose an Envision. So the Envision will be coming in a camo pattern that he wants. Gas bowstrings, hooked it up with gas ghost strings, and it has orange serving on it, which was Chris's request. Badlands supports my endeavors and the grant every year. This year we have a Mark III and we have a really nice approach jacket. Lakewood supports us every year with the bow case. Morel Targets came on board this year with a high roller. Shrewd is with us this year for a stabilizer. We have HHA Bow Sight, which is en route, which will be a Tetra Max or a Tetra Rise, depending upon whether Chris wants a multi-pin or a single pin. Hot Shot Archery with a release and a peep. We have a Hamsky rest from Frontline Archery, and it's a custom rest. It says Be Limitless on it. Vortex, this is the second year Vortex has been with us, and they threw the entire kitchen sink full of dishes at Chris this year. He has Razor binoculars, Razor rangefinder, and he has Razor spotting scope and a carbon tripod. Chappelle, we couldn't fit everything in here. Chappelle, we have a jet sled over here with a cart attachment and a cover. Wilderness Athlete, I'm a big fan of Wilderness Athlete. They sent some hydration stuff. We have an individual donor with another Badlands bino harness. VIP Archery, hands down my favorite broadhead in the business. They donate through Frontline. They donated their combat veteran broadheads. We have a brick house for Chris as well. We have a custom Benchmade knife, which was donated by somebody who we're going to talk about here in just a minute. What we don't see here is Grizzly Coolers donated a 72-quart hard-sided cooler with a custom A3G logo on the lid. We have some orange lighted Knox en route, and we have a couple of other things that are still in the mail. Also, there's Zinger Vanes is what I shoot, and I've contacted the guys at Zinger. They made custom arrows because they now have Kanadi arrows, so they custom built arrows to Chris's specification with their vanes on there. We have some hot sauce. A buddy of mine who's still active duty Navy, he has a hot sauce business, so the love sauce is there. And I said I wasn't going to go through everybody, but I'm kind of getting there. We have Elvish Tack donated their bow sight light. It's an incredible bow sight, Chris. And then we have a company that's in the outdoor industry that has some rechargeable, they're USB hand warmers, and cool. They're also a charger, so you can plug your phone into it or a headlamp, whatever you have with you. Awesome. So I'm thinking that's pretty much what we have here with us today. What else do we have for you this year? So here's the really, I can't say this is a really cool part because all of this is really cool, but we have some financial backing and a really good friend of mine who is an Army veteran, and he is a hunting guide out of Lampasas, Texas, Chris Dunlap. And he hosted me on a hunt last October, took me out on a 2,300 acre ranch called the 4J. It's a low fence ranch, and I met the owners, and they found out about what I'm doing for other amputees, so they donated their ranch. Chris donated his time, one-on-one guide. At their horse ranch, they have a Airbnb. So we have Airbnb for you, we have food for you, we have all of your air travel for you, we have your hunting license and tags for you, we have the 2,300 acre ranch, which you will be the only person hunting on the ranch for 3 days.
I'm gonna have to put my sport leg on.
You are gonna have to put your sport leg on. Yep, we have, if you harvest an animal, we have all of your meat processing and shipping covered for you. And if you harvest an antler deer that you would like mounted, we have a shoulder mount and shipping for you. This is a once in a lifetime, all-inclusive whitetail hunt down in Texas. I just need your weekend of time.
Awesome.
So on top of that, if you're interested, also have a couple of parties that would like to pay for you to go to the ATA. Are you familiar with the ATA?
A little bit, yeah.
It's the Archery Trade Association show. It happens every year. HHA Sports and HHA USA would like to host you with one of their badges, and you have your airfare and your lodging and your food covered for, it's 1 day, 2 nights, or 1 night, 2 days, if you can make the time to go.
That sounds phenomenal.
That's what we have for you this year in the A3G Initiative. What is the A3G Initiative for folks that have not heard about our program before? I am a 11-year amputee. When I first had my accident, which is actually very similar to what Chris went through, that first instant, I thought that my life was going to end. Everything that I knew was on 2 legs. And a friend of mine looked me in the eyes when I was still laying on the ground with the tourniquet on and said to me, he said, if anybody can overcome this, this could be you. And I made the decision at that moment that I was not only going to recover from it, but I was going to live a better life than I had up to that point. And I have. What I found through that process is that my outdoor lifestyle and my passion for hunting and archery has been a huge piece of my recovery and my mental health. And I made the decision last year that I wanted to put that opportunity in the hands of other people. Last year was our inaugural year. This is our 2nd year. We are growing and we are having so much fun, and this is so fulfilling. And I get to meet incredible people like Chris. So Chris, I'm going to stop talking for at least a couple of minutes, and you can introduce yourself, you share whatever you would like to share, and then we'll say our goodbyes and go on with shaking hands and talking about what we get to do together in October.
Okay. So I'm going to start with, I walked in today to this meeting and I was kind of stunned. A3G puts out a list when they're starting to take applications. It's got a couple things on there. Really great stuff to receive. And then Aaron, we've spoken more than a few times, and I looked at this table today, and all of Aaron's hard work and all the generous companies out there that are looking to support people with limb differences. It's incredibly humbling. I did not expect all of this, and I'm still a little bit in shock. It's crazy. And then the detail, I got to point this out because I noticed this on the arrows. It says "Be limitless." Just tiny little details like that. It's incredible. It's amazing. Just a little bit about myself. I was Army veteran. Made it through some time overseas. I came home. I started working with Maryland State Police. I've not always taken the safest routes through life. And, like you said, it's one of those things. You're just out one night and some tragedy happens and life is seemingly over. I got lost for a little bit. I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. Luckily, I have a great family who's here to support me today. They're hiding off in the background here. My wife, Kim, my son, Christopher, and my other son, Charlie. We're here at my place of employment, Ocean Pines Volunteer Fire Department. And I've got some of my coworkers hiding in the background here also. I found this place and I started working. I got back into something that I had started as a volunteer when I was young, and came back to it, and it's given me a renewed sense of purpose, back to serving my community. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of fun to jump in a fire truck and drive fast with lots of lights and sirens. From here, I don't even know where I go. I feel like the sky's the limit, and you know, your generosity and everything that you do for people like me, it makes me want to get involved. And we've spoken. You know, I hope that next year I can be a part of this again and help out somebody else in a similar situation. You know, if it's an ear, if they just need to get stuff off their chest, you know, if you need help making deliveries, if you need somebody to show next year's recipient around that ranch down there in Texas, sign me up, I'm in.
You hear that, Chris? I love it.
You know, just thank you. Thank you to Aaron and Limitless Outdoors and the A3G Initiative and Elite and Badlands and Vortex and all the private donors. It's truly, truly appreciated. And it's very overwhelming. It's incredible.
So Chris is a very humble man, and I've learned this over the last couple of months. The application that we received from Chris, there's 3 board members currently with A3G, and we all had access to the applications. We all reviewed the applications individually. There was no conspiring. We didn't share our thoughts. We reviewed them individually, and then we came together, the 3 of us, and we discussed how they were going to fall out in priority. And all 3 of us unanimously chose Chris as our #1 priority or choice. On his application, he left out a lot of detail that, in my mind, really should have been there. However, he's a humble human being and for whatever reason chose to not put it there. So it was weeks to over a month later, I was sitting in Wisconsin at a archery event hosted by HHA Sports, HHA USA, and Vortex. I was in my hotel room working, and I had asked Chris for a bio. So he emails me a bio, and then he texts me, and he says, "Hey, I sent the bio. I don't write very well. Take a look at it. If you need to edit it or fix grammar, please do so, but you have my bio." So I picked up my coffee cup, and I opened up the document, and I started to read it. And I'm going to try not to get emotional. For one, he is very well written and well spoken. And 2, our paths are so similar. We both are veterans, different services, both veterans. We both are combat veterans. We both chose to ride motorcycles, and we lost our legs riding motorcycles. We both served in the fire department. We both chose to serve humanity at a DOD level. We also both chose to serve our fellow man at the local level as first responders. There were so many things that we share together that we didn't even know. On top of that, as I'm communicating with Chris to try to put all of this together to make today happen, he sent me a text message and said that he and his wife were so thankful for what I was doing that they wanted to give back and they wanted to donate to the A3G. And my response to him was, we need to take care of you first and then we'll worry about that later. So I'm really excited that you have follow-on interest in what we're doing. We would love to have you on board and interact with folks in the future as well, Chris. You're an amazing human being.
Absolutely. You know, I've got inspiration in Aaron. There's a couple other amputee firefighters out there. One notably in Texas. I don't want to throw his name out there in case he's not looking for the spotlight, but he was a huge help. And we want to be there for other people in a similar situation.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, congratulations.
Thank you.
And looking forward to a wonderful future in relationship with you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. And Again, LimitlessOutdoors.com is my website. A3G Initiative is a domain on that website. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Please, if you would like to support, reach out, send me an email, send me a message, a text message, a direct message. Donation buttons are on all of those locations. We would love your support. Thank you to everybody that has supported us in 2023 or 2022, and thank you so much for everybody that made today happen. So grateful. And be limitless. All right, cool. We're done. Now we got to pack all this up.